Sorry, Eastern Standard Time. We have two little dogs here. They're playing around, but sorry about that. Thank you all once again for joining us. You know, we come to you all the time with a quick 10-minute talk. It has been very fun. It's been what, 2 months?
Maybe.
Yeah, 2 months that we've been doing this. Is very fun. We have a quick 10-minute talk, you know, something that a lot of men and women, you know, deal with. So hopefully we can get into this topic, all fun, you know, and we can all learn something from each other with this great topic. So without further ado, again, I'm going to turn it over to these lovely ladies, and they're going to tell you what our topic is today for our 10-minute talk.
So the topic is, if you pay child support and you get remarried, do you feel your child support amount should be increased? I guess I'll take a stab at this. I do not. I do feel that you and that person that was previous to your marriage made the child. So I do feel that you two should be responsible for that child's income. Now, hopefully whoever you marry will still, you know, put forth that effort into the child, because when you do become married, you still do become one. Everything should become one. So hopefully that person will still put forth that effort, but I don't feel that they should be obligated to put forth that effort to increase the child support.
I agree. I definitely agree. I do not believe that a spouse should have a financial obligation to take care of your children. Only the two people who created the child should have that financial obligation. Now, I do believe that whoever you marry should be nurturing, accepting, and loving to your children. Those are their obligations. But to financially care for them, I do not believe that obligation should go to them. And I do not believe child support should be increased based on a spouse's income.
I mean, a lot of times we all three might agree and sometimes we don't, but today we are all going to agree. I'm going to agree right with them, because I feel if you have a child by your ex or, you know, ex-wife or whomever, you all had the child together. So because I'm making $1 million or whatever the case is, I don't feel my child support should be increased because I am making the $1 million. Now, granted that that is our household income. Of course, that's our household income. And let's say I'm married to him now. So our household income has increased, but the child was that same child before we got married, and you two had this child together. So whatever you're paying, if you're paying $600 a month, I think that $600 a month should still stand. I don't think it should increase because now there's extra income coming in the house. And I think it was a question before in our group saying that if the wife's income or husband's income or whatever increase, shouldn't you be the one to get more money because, you know, you and your family needs the money or something like that. The question was worded some way like that, something like that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that before my wife and I, or husband and I got together, I'll say husband, my wife, before my husband and I got together, you all already had this child. So you know how much the child costs. I mean, I'm not being mean when I'm saying this, but I love kids too. I have my own child and I love all kids, but it shouldn't be based off of my income. It should be based off of his income and the ex's income. Now, if she loses her job, then he should pay more, I guess.
I mean, there's different models. Yeah, there's different models of how states actually calculate child support. Some have statutory guidelines, some have case by case. So one thing people can do if they're marrying people with children is to get prenuptial agreements and file separately their taxes to protect their income, because one thing that goes into the calculation of child support is maybe a tax income and not just the actual pay stubs. So based on your taxes, one might, or a judge or court might say, hey, your income is a lot based on these taxes. But if you file separately, your income will stay the same as if you were single.
Now, one point that someone made in our group before was, if it's that much of a financial burden to take care of the child, you know, as the other person, I guess, the other parent, if it's that much of a financial burden, then that child should go with the parent who is more financially stable. And I do believe that, you know, will be fair in that instance. If somebody thinks that, you know, well, you have more money than I do, and you're able to, you know, raise the child better than I can because you're more financially stable, then I think it is fair for that child to just go with the other parent then.
That's definitely an option. If you believe that you cannot take care of the child and you think getting child support as opposed to putting yourself in a better financial situation is the way to go, maybe you want to consider the custody issue as opposed to the financial issue. There's two different standards when you're determining child support versus custody. So when you're considering custody, the best interest of the child is placed before you considering the income that the person has. So if you believe that the other person has a better living situation and can better provide for the child financially than you, and you can't meet certain financial obligations, not just because you have a lower income, but because you can't meet certain financial obligations, yeah, then you consider, is it in the best interest of the child to give custody to, you know, to give physical custody of the child to that parent. So there's lots of different things to consider. And I will say that you should definitely check the state where you're living before marrying someone with kids. If you don't have kids, or if you have kids of your own, definitely check the state of the laws regarding child support and how it's calculated before actually marrying. You have to consider all these things before marrying. You can't just jump the broom and not consider the whole of what you're getting into.
Right. And not actually know his obligation of paying child support. You know, find that out too.
See if he is on back child support, if he's up to date.
And don't just take their word for it, her word or his word, whichever one. Don't just take their word for it. Actually do the research for yourself.
Because you don't want to get your refund check. Well, you think you're going to get your refund check and they snatch it from you because, you know, we got married and you told me before that you were up to date on your child support. So it's best to find that out too. And be honest, you know, be honest, because some people might have secret kids out here, you know, they don't want to disclose. And then you end up, you know, I know my check is going to be $3,500, you know, and you get it back and it's only $800.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you can't feel slighted because another parent is living a better lifestyle financially, because it's not about you, it's about the child. Is the child living the same standard? And that will go towards alimony. Like if you can't, and you had to be married to begin with in order to get the same standard that you were accustomed to before. So you can't feel slighted or jaded, whether man or woman, because your spouse is now living a way better lifestyle financially because they married well. You can't. You have to take yourself out of that equation and know what is best for the child. So legally and morally, these are two different things. But morally, do you feel you're entitled to a better lifestyle because your spouse is now living a better lifestyle just because they married up? So
no, I mean, no. So if, for instance, if I have 4 kids by this guy and we broke up and now he married whoever and she's making $1 million and we're
Bill
living
Gates or Jeff Bezos.
Right.
We're living down the way or wherever we are living at. This is an example, you all, just an example. And we're living in an apartment. I don't feel that they should give me any more. Now, one thing I will say, he needs to be paying his child support for our 4 kids.
Right. Yeah.
He needs to pay his child support for his 4 kids. Now, should I be upset that, you know, he married somebody making $1 million? Truthfully, I might be a little hurt, you know, because I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I might be a little hurt. But for me to go and tell her, well, you know, y'all making $1 million, now you ought to pay me more.
Yeah,
I
to expect it, that's a
think
whole new
that's a
different
bit
story.
much.
Yeah.
Mhm. Because
That's-
you still have to have that obligation too to provide for your child. So if you want a
Right.
different lifestyle, you have to get up and get it. You always should be protecting yourself and getting the type of lifestyle you want. You can't actually work
Right.
on the back of someone else just because you feel you're entitled to it.
Right.
So
And I
Wanda
know once
says,
this get out, a lot of people are like, no, they didn't say that, but if you look at it, it's the truth.
everyone is entitled to their opinion.
And
it's
even
fine.
if you if you marry well, if I marry very, very well, I'm still going to ensure that I am able to protect myself. So I'm still going to make sure that I have my financial obligation met, even if my husband says, no, you don't ever have to worry, even if he's a billionaire, because one day he may leave me. And
Right.
somebody that's a billionaire is definitely probably going to want me to sign a prenuptial agreement. And it might leave me with nothing in the
Well,
end
I'm
of the
not gonna
marriage.
sign one, but go ahead.
Oh, I will. But
I'm
it's definitely gonna, if it leaves me with nothing in the end of the marriage, I want to be able to be self-sufficient and reliant on myself. So you always have to have that
A backup.
standard, right, of
Mhm.
care for yourself. Make sure you can financially care for yourself.
Right, and if
I
people pass
agree.
away, you never know what happened.
Exactly.
Wanda says when the child is in custody of the absent parent, the child should benefit as well, and that is definitely true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, you should. Everybody should get a little something. I mean,
Yeah, like I say, it's definitely, child support is definitely determined based on both parents' income, because no matter whose custody the child is in, both parents still have that financial obligation. Now, a parent that has longer days of custody is probably not likely going to be paying child support to the other person because they have more custody time with the child. But they still have their own financial obligation to meet. So
right.
yeah.
I agree. No.
That completes our 10-minute talk with Bassa. Qualita is still fussing with them dogs.
Are you having fun with 2 dogs?
It's a challenge, I would say. Well,
Yeah.
not really, because
The one dog is not as active as the other one.
oh no. No. One thing I will say, Rosie, she's very she's spoiled.
Yeah.
She's selfish. She's very selfish. I didn't notice that until since we got him. Rosie
Wow.
is very selfish.
You had Rosie for a long time.
Selfish.
I could tell you she was selfish with you all.
Yeah, because
really?
when Snowball is around, she'll act pretty selfish.
Oh, well, she's real selfish with him now. I mean, I know we're off topic, guys, but to give you an example, if his food is out and her food is out, they eat the same food. She will come over and eat his food.
Mm.
She will eat his food and leave her food alone.
Yeah.
That is so selfish. But
Yeah, that's pretty selfish.
She's a spoiled one.
I guess it's a female and a male dog, the difference of the two.
Does she eat his food?
Yes, she will eat his food.
Mm.
And her food too. Now, when has she ever done that? That's like being greedy. And she's
Yeah, her
got
stomach is pretty small.
Yeah.
She's gotten a little chubby too.
Oh,
Wow.
She has. Rose,
you lost her.
I call her. She won't even come because she's being stubborn.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. It has been fun, a great topic. We are looking forward to the weekend. Mother's Day is coming. Hope you all have lots of great gift ideas or great plans for your moms. We have gobassett.com. We always have great things on there. Go shop gobassett.com. Yamanisha is a great gift set to give to anyone. So shop gobassett.com, get your gift set on there for Yamanisha, or pick out some clothes or some other things that we have on there. So remember to build brilliant, build bold, and build a sister up, build a brother up. Bye.
Bye.